Okay, hi Marley. Thanks for coming in again today. The last time we met, we took a history of, you said you had some pain in your neck, in your lower neck, and kind of into the surrounding area.
Yeah.
So we discussed that, we did some exams, and I know some of that might have been less than comfortable for you, so I appreciate you bearing with me as we got through that. We also took some x-rays, and so based on those exam findings and your x-rays, me and my advising doc have come up with a care plan with you. At this point, I'm sure you are thinking a couple things. One being, can we help? And the answer is absolutely, we can help. And you also might be wondering how much it's gonna cost and how long it might take. I will get to that later on in this presentation, but I want you to know that I am thinking about that, and I'm aware that you're probably thinking about that as well. So I just want to recap. Can you describe to me what you think being healthy is?
Functioning really good.
Optimal function, right? Yeah, that's kind of what we discussed last time as well. And do you remember discussing subluxation with me?
Yeah, the whole thing about the misalignment and the pressure on the nervous system.
Right, yeah, so exactly. So subluxation, as chiropractors describe it, is a misalignment of the vertebra, which can cause neurological deficits. And our job is to find those subluxations and correct them. And when would you say is the best time to take care of those subluxations?
As soon as possible is best.
Exactly. So that's why I'm glad we can get you in here in a timely manner. We're going to try and get you taken care of as quickly as possible. So now I'm going to go ahead and transition and show you what normal cervical spine, your neck would look like. And after x-rays, I'm going to show you what your neck looks like. And I want to tell you, see if you can tell me what you're seeing. Okay, so here you can see this top picture is the neck is supposed to have this curve to it with good black space here, that's the disc. And so this is healthy disc space all the way through here. And as degeneration happens, you can see the disc space starts to diminish and also flattening of the cervical spine. So do you think you have a pretty good idea what normal is?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So now if we can look at this computer. This is your x-ray, and I want you to tell me if you could see any differences.
Okay, so there's not a real good curve in there.
Right, yeah, it looks a little more straight than that last picture I just showed you, right? Anything else you might notice?
I don't really know.
So, without being trained, it's hard to look, yeah. But I'm glad that you were able to notice the straightening of the cervical spine. But also down here, right in that area where you're having pain, there is an increase in calcium deposit, which is what we call sclerosis, and it's hardening of that space. And that's due to pressure put on it.
That makes sense.
Okay. So, after looking at these x-rays with my advising doc and all of your exam findings, the condition that we believe you are suffering from is called cervical facet syndrome, or cervical facet referral rather. And what that essentially means is that we have these things called facet joints in the spine, which are these joints in between vertebrae. And these joints have nerves running to them, and the same nerves that go to these joints go to the muscles in the surrounding area. So right now you essentially have irritation of that joint, irritation of that nerve, irritation of the surrounding muscle. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So some of the positive exam findings that we found were on extension. So if this patient were to extend his neck, you could see that these facet joints are getting jammed up, and that's kind of the same symptoms you're having. When you extend, you're getting that increase in pain. And also compression. If I was to remember when we compressed your head into different positions, you were getting pain in that area. And the same thing, we're just compressing those joints and making them not happy, and it's making your symptoms worse.
Okay.
clear picture of what you think is going on?
Yeah.
Great.
That's fine.
So, with that being said, for a care plan, we want to go ahead and start with an 8-week care plan. I want you to come in twice a week. Rather, I think it would be most beneficial for you to come in and need to come in twice a week. And we're going to track your progress on every visit, and we'll reassess after 8 weeks is up to see if we need to modify anything. We have indicated that, or you have indicated that Mondays at 5 p.m. work for you. Is that still
Yeah, Monday works.
cool? And also Fridays at 12 p.m. work for you? Great. So we'll just go ahead and stick to those 2 days for the next 8 weeks, and we'll reassess after that. Part of our visits are, we're going to incorporate some physiotherapy. What I want to do is use a rapid release, which is a very intense vibration machine that will help break up the myofascial adhesions, which is essentially the stickiness in between the different layers of tissue in that area. So it helps for better movement in that area. And also do some electrical stimulation, very superficial stuff that will just help with pain in that area if it is severe. As you probably know, that this is going to be, both of us are going to have to work together to help this condition resolve. So at home, I would like you to continue doing your head retractions that we discussed. And I will provide you with a handout with the amount of reps and how many times a day that you should be doing those. I also want you to support your neck when you sleep with a cervical pillow. It'll be essentially a roll that goes under your neck to keep you out of forward flexion when you sleep. As far as your diet and nutrition goes, I would like you to increase your fruits and vegetables daily from 3 servings to at least 5 to 7 servings, and also increase your water consumption from 32 ounces to 64 ounces. Does that seem manageable?
I think so.
I know the water is a kind of a drastic increase, but I think you can do it.
It's okay.
And as far as your sleeping patterns, I think you're getting restful 8 hours of sleep each night. Keep doing that. Keep your current exercise routine of a couple times a week of at least 30 minutes. That's all great. So the basic goal of this care plan is to restore the proper movement in your neck and in the joints, and we're going to do this through chiropractic adjustments and soft tissue work like we discussed. And my goal is to get you from a pain of a 4 to at least a 1 by the end of 8 weeks. And like I said, we'll reevaluate after 8 weeks and see if we can do anything better.
Okay.
Do you have any questions for me?
We talked about the cost and
Thank you for circling back with me on that. So because you're a student here at Life West, the cost is actually going to be free for you. Lucky you. So I wouldn't worry about cost right now. Any other questions?
Sounds good. I think we covered everything.
Great. Well, thank you again for coming in.
All right.
I will see you later this afternoon for